Hello everybody, my name is Bobby. I'm going to be walking you through just a little introduction to LLQP, which is known as the Life Licensing Qualification Program. And most people call it, maybe sometimes you hear it as a Harmonized Life License Qualification Program since about 3 years ago. A little bit of a harmonization of the qualifications across the provinces of Canada. So I'm going to walk you through some of the basics of what's going to be involved in the LLQP course. And we're going to take you to a couple websites, regulatory websites, for you to see some of the components there. So as you can probably see, my page, my name is Bobby, B-O-B-B-Y, last name Killens. I'm going to do this video, and then from this point forward, I'm going to start to develop learning modules and videos for each module that's within the LLQP course. So let's scroll down. And let's go to the first slide. What we have here is the LLQP course. It's going to cover the curriculum prescribed by the Canadian Council of Insurance Regulators. Okay, so we're going to take you to this website here in a little bit. Pretty much these guys have come together, the regulators of the insurance industry across all the provinces, and have tried to harmonize and set up a curriculum for each province to kind of ensure that their insurance professionals know how they're supposed to conduct themselves in the industry, and they're able to properly provide services to those individuals that need insurance. So the four main competencies within the LLQP you're going to see here is the first one here is develop an ethical professional practice. Okay, so this is a big focus, obviously, in all the financial services industry. Really want to focus on what ethical and professional practices. Okay, so there's going to be a whole module on that. From my experience, I think this is maybe the textbook or the module that students, kind of dismiss, and hence sometimes score a little bit lower in. So don't forget, this module is very, very important. Very, very important. Okay, so we're going to spend a little bit of time in the next videos talking about ethical and professional practice. The second point here you're going to see is recommend, you should be able, after you're done this course, you should be able to recommend individual and group life insurance. Okay, so obviously this is, what if you're going to go through the LLQP course, this is going to be one of your main competencies that you're going to have to show, that when you speak to a client or when you're able to extract some information from a client, you can be able to provide them with a recommendation of some sort of maybe individual life insurance, and whether that's term, whole life, or universal life. Right, maybe one of those you should be, you're going to be very, very knowledgeable about the differences within there, and also within each, set of these, right, different little features that you can add within term, whole life, universal life. You should be very confident in terms of providing some sort of recommendation there. And same on the group life insurance side. Okay, so again, lots of different products, lots of different features that can be added on to group life. You should be able to discuss that with clients, be able to provide them with a recommendation. The third one here is on recommend individual and group accident and sickness insurance. So commonly this is seen as accident and sickness. You'll see most people within the industry refer to this as A&S insurance, accident and sickness insurance. So here, this is now going to take the focus off life insurance and more on accident, health, sickness insurance. And so this can come in a variety of different forms here, whether we're talking about critical illness insurance, whether we're talking about long-term care insurance, maybe we're talking about health insurance plans provided not only on an individual basis, right, but also through a group basis. Okay, so we see many individuals who do and are employed generally get some sort of benefits package, and this benefits package usually comes with some form of accident and sickness insurance, and at some points in time also life insurance. But also these can come in individual packages. I'm sure that many of you guys have seen different advertisements on TV that are promoting individual health insurance plans that may cover prescriptions, drugs, other medical services. This is what we're going to get into in competency number 3 here. And the last competency that's the Canadian Council of Insurance Regulators has really focused on is recommending segregated funds, annuities, and group pension plans. Okay, so these segregated funds, a lot of people think that these segregated funds are very difficult, and I think most of the time, I think people get kind of scared of these segregated funds. A lot of times we kind of drop this down and just refer to them as seg funds. So when we talk about seg funds, those are segregated funds. Here, these seg funds are very, very common or similar to mutual funds. Okay, they have a lot of the same features as mutual funds, but there are some differences also. Okay, so if you know a little bit about mutual funds, segregated funds aren't going to be overwhelming for you. There's some different guarantee features within segregated funds. Some obviously a life insurance type of instrument within the segregated funds themselves. So there are some differences between seg funds and mutual funds, but they are also very similar also. So we're going to talk and describe what segregated funds are. Then we're going to talk about annuities and group pension plans also. Okay, within number 4 here. And again, annuities aren't one of the most simplistic products. And again, there's lots of different types of annuities. We're going to get into the different types here. And group pension plans. So again, whether we talk about, again, different types of pension plans here in the group side, we can talk about defined contribution or DC or defined benefit. We're going to get into those different types. And again, you should be able to discuss and recommend potentially the differences between segregated funds, annuities, and pension plans to a client, right? Or someone that may need that advice. So that's what the LLQP course is really going to focus on. So let's drop down here to the next slide. And the next slide is going to talk about how the LLQP course is broken down into different material. Okay, so when you do enroll in approved LLQP course curriculum, so again, it's going to have to be an approved, and we're going to see down here, we're going to talk about these approved curriculum providers. I'll take you to a website that after we're done this slideshow here, I'll take you to a website that will show you, how you can find the approved core curriculum providers. And obviously it's very important to take approved core curriculum providers, because these guys that are approved, these guys are going to be the ones that come and update this SIPR or the Canadian Insurance Participant Registry, and you're going to need that to go on and write your relative provincial exam. If you're in Ontario or somewhere else, you're going to have to not only pass a course by the approved curriculum provider, but then once you're done that, you're going to have to go down here and take a provincial exam. We'll talk about that in a second. But how is the material broken down? When you do register with your approved core curriculum, you're going to get 5 different books. Okay, so these 5 different books, the first one is going to focus on life insurance. Okay, so term life, whole life, universal life, different riders that are potentially associated with all these different things. You're going to see all those come out in this book. The second one is going to be accident and sickness. So you can see, both of these correspond back to those core competencies back on the previous slide. Ethics and professional practice. Obviously, again, this was point number 1 in the competency before. Segregated funds and annuities. Okay, there's your, 4th main competency. So you're going to have a textbook for each one of these 4, plus a 5th textbook here. Okay, and the 5th textbook is really going to be focused on taxation of life insurance and some of the other financial services products associated with life insurance. This 5th textbook here, or this content, this is not testable. Okay, this is not testable. This is not testable for the provincial exams. So you can see here, the provincial exams open book only covers the first 4 modules or first 4 book. This is not testable here, number 5. Now, this is for the provincial exam. For your approved core curriculum provider, depending on how they set up their material, some of the taxation principles are going to also be built into the previous 4 modules here. So there's a lot of material within this 5th module here that may not be testable, but is sure going to help you in understanding some of the particulars of life insurance, accident and sickness, ethics and professional practice, and segregated funds and annuities. Okay, so, but you're going to get 5 books, fairly long, I would say, and in pretty much each module is going to be tested on a module basis. So you're going to have to pass a life insurance test, you're going to have to pass an accident and sickness test, you're going to have to pass an ethics and professional practice test, and you're going to have to pass a segregated funds and annuities test. So you're going to have to pass 4 separate test modules there. And depending on your approved core curriculum provider, once you do pass their program, okay, they will then go and update what's referred to as the Canadian Insurance Participant Registry. So let's back up one quick minute. Once you do register with your approved curriculum provider here, okay, and this can be CSI, this can be Oliver's, this can be Advocates through Foreign, lots of different providers. Well, like I said, we'll take a second here and go to a website, and I'll show you some of those in a second. Once you do register, they're going to go online and register you with the regulators, okay, National Registry, and this is referred to as CIPR. They're going to then provide you with a number that's going to be your identification number during the process of the LLQP. Once you do pass their program, they're going to go back and they're going to update this SIPR website. And they're going to update this SIPR website, and that is what's going to allow you to come down here and take this provincial exam. And again, you're going to have to go through exams again, depending on your approved core curriculum provider, how they set up their testing for the different modules. Maybe it's going to be similar, maybe it's going to be a little different. The key thing here is this is open book. So they're going to give you a tablet. They're going to give you all this material on a tablet, and you're going to sit and you're going to write each one of these 4 module tests. You're going to have to again pass each one in order for you to say that you've passed the provincial exam, and then you'll be able to go on and become employed, and then get licensed to sell life insurance and some insurance products. So that's a little bit of a breakdown of the intro and the kind of framework of the life license qualification program. Let's quickly go to a couple of these websites here that we talked about. So we're going to go to the Canadian Council of Insurance Regulators quickly, and then what's referred to as CICERO, the Canadian Insurance Service Regulatory Organization, and we'll take you to this SIPR website also. Okay, so let's quickly go to a website. Here's the first site. This is the Canadian Council of Insurance Regulators website here. So when you're on here, you can see that their mandate is here to facilitate this effective insurance regulatory system in Canada, right? They're looking to ensure that they're able to provide some sort of framework around the insurance industry in Canada. That's what their goal is. So this is going to be a combination of the regulators across Canada. And here you can go across the top of the page. You can go across and see their initiatives. You can see their licensing links, complaints, other issues. I'll let you explore that, but there's the website up there if you guys would like to go a little bit further. But that's the Canadian Council of Insurance Regulators. The second website is CICERO. Okay, CISRO, the Canadian Insurance Service Regulatory Organization. And again, this is an inter-jurisdictional group who's really there to somewhat develop the standards and practices and qualifications around there. And again, you can go through here, you can talk about the LLQP, different things. And again, I'll let you explore this on your own, but this is another important website to go to obtain some information. And the last website I'll take you to is back to the Canadian Council of Insurance Regulators website. But here, this is where they're going to show you the LLQP course provider information. So if you scroll down on this page, you're going to see that here's all the different course providers from Advocates, Foreign, Canadian Securities Institute, Oliver's Publishing, Seneca College, all these different Insurance Institute of Canada. You can go through this site here and you can kind of find, maybe one close to you, click on those so you know those are the ones. So that's a quick recap of this an intro in the framework of the LLQP. Hope that helped, and good luck in registering and pursuing the LLQP.